So Kevin Madrigal in Galindo is an advocate of food sovereignty that is reimagining health with ancestral Mexican cooking. He is a first-generation Chicano hijo de su chingada madre from South San Francisco by way of Zapopan, Jalisco. His first chapbook, Hella Mexican, is out now with Nomadic Press. In his free time, you can find him eating peanut butter and feeling his feelings. So, welcome, Kevin.
Cool. My name's Kevin. I have this book out with Nomadic Press. It's called Hella Mexican. It came out a little bit less than a year ago. Yeah, next month will be my 1-year anniversary of this guy. That's pretty cool. Self-portrait as list. Self-portrait as recipe. Self-portrait as corrido. Self-portrait as sex addict. Self-portrait as queer. Self-portrait as dry-hopped beer. Self-portrait as anxiety and fear. Self-portrait as huevos rancheros. Self-portrait as boy in his abuela's wedding dress. Self-portrait as, are you sure he's not gay? Self-portrait as disobedient poodle mutt. Self-portrait as El Fajo coming to whoop my ass. Self-portrait as pair of shoes stolen through broken glass. Self-portrait as non-stick frying pan. Self-portrait as Kevin, the mischievous kid from Home Alone. Self-portrait as childhood fight for the red Ninja Turtle. Self-portrait as 3 freshly picked squash blossoms, now wilting. Self-portrait as cognitive behavioral therapy. Self-portrait as faded 2003 Corolla with roll-up windows. Self-portrait as SpongeBob edition Kraft mac and cheese. Self-portrait as Macuilcotzcacuatli, the god of gluttony. Self-portrait as identity crisis. Self-portrait as waiting to be held. Self-portrait as temporary spines. Self-portrait as nopal that grew from concrete, its fruit on the way. There's a few poems in here that I have English and Spanish translations for. And I'm a first generation Mexican American. So my Spanish isn't the best, but I always talk to my family, either my mom or dad or sister, brother, or one of my cousins in Mexico, Luis, who helped me with some of the translations in this book. He's like a brother to me. So shout out to Luis, shout out to family on this side of the border and on the other side of the border. This is El ritmo del viento. Gorriones de canción forzadas a corregir sus cursos en tiempo real para llegar de A a B. Si das una mirada a la tierra, verás un paisaje verde y flores de algodoncillo florecen bailando al ritmo del viento. Una abeja rayada de señorial negra y amarillo dorado aterriza en pétalos de algodoncillo, saltando de una hermosa flor a otra en una coreografía improvisada, tomando al menos un momento para darle una quebradita ligera a cada compañera. Volverán a erguirse cuando la abeja se haya ido. Una ráfaga fuerte se anuncia con la maleza y los árboles. Este viento ha viajado por el mar. Se nota cómo usa el bosque para imitar el sonido de las olas, cómo retroceden en arena tamizada. Los árboles no prestarán atención a la síncopa de los pájaros cantando. Ellos bailan lento todo el día al ritmo del viento. Hey, thank you.
Could you read that in English for us?
I'm going to leave that one to, you have to buy the book to get it in English. Ooh, look at that. Bang. Turned it into a market opportunity. Yeah. I will. Thank you. This is also another one. This is from the book. This is I have two pieces in here. One's called Mexican Heaven, and then the one afterwards called Mexican Hell. They're also in Spanish. I'm gonna be reading just Mexican Hell. In Mexican Hell, tacos are $6 each, not including tax or tip, and they're all dry-ass pollo asado. The mariachi is out of tune, and the lead singer forgot the lyrics to El Rey. It's painful. Your suegra is always by your side, scratchily whispering in your ear, "You'll never be good enough." In Mexican Hell, you can still have pan dulce and café, just never at the same time. Mexican Hell has always just run out of tequila, and the avocados are eternally unripe, hard as rocks. The frijoles too watery, the tortillas too dry, still you eat and fake a smile to your tia, who then makes you wash all the dishes, desgraciado. In Mexican Hell, your neighbors are always asking you to make them horchata and to learn how to speak English. The only upside to Mexican Hell is that the salsas are so damn picosas, they make you numb. It helps pass the time so no one tells the devil, a white man atop a skyscraping pile of cartel money, dressed in a gold-trimmed suit and his Sunday's best toupee. Turns out Mexican Hell is actually America. We've been living here all along. Does anybody know who Thich Nhat Hanh is?
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice. Sweet. All right. Thich Nhat Hanh said we can transform anger into love, just as a gardener can transform compost to grow beautiful flowers. Though I can't help but wonder the harm, the naivete propagated by this simplification. What I know about compost is violence. The nature of mixing the dead plant matter with literal shit. The development of destructive heat necessary for this process to work. The organisms that commune to feed on waste and each other, centipedes, earthworms, and nematodes. Dear lover, before you trust a clean metaphor, make sure to find its dirty secrets. This is I'm So Mexican Part 2. I'm so Mexican, I know piñatas are originally from China. I'm so Mexican in high school, I was so good at math, people would call me Asian. I'm so Mexican, I think about all the different ways I could write a piñata poem. I'm so Mexican, I tell my mom I'm seeing a therapist and she calls me weak. I'm so Mexican, I always say the food is good at big pachangas, then talk shit about it later. I'm so Mexican, I know the difference between mezcal, tequila, sotol, and raicilla. They're all agave spirits, just from different places. I'm so Mexican, I reheat leftover tamales from the holidays to celebrate second Christmas. I'm so Mexican, I have a book of poems called Hello Mexican. I'm so Mexican, I sneak sandwiches into everywhere that charges too much for food.
Yeah.
I'm so Mexican, I make tejuino and mix it with una chela as an excuse to drink in the early morning. I'm so Mexican, I imagine a piñata poem you have to break in order to read. I'm so Mexican, I imagine a piñata filled with nothing but my poems. I'm so Mexican, when I first imagined the perspective of a piñata, I wonder if its whole life it looks forward to fulfilling its purpose, to being destroyed. I'm so Mexican, I wonder what type of piñata I would be. I'm so Mexican, I have baby pictures of me happily swinging at various piñatas. I'm so Mexican, as a kid, I'd wear big t-shirts to birthday parties so I could use the extra length to make a bag and catch and collect all of the candy. I'm so Mexican, I want the next generation to live better than I did. I'm so Mexican, I'm willing to be sacrificed if it means the children around me will get at least a moment of true joy. I have a bunch of Abuelita poems in here, and this is the last one in the book, I believe. Yeah. This is Abuelita Lupe, the myth. El agua está frío, está frío, está frío. El agua, no, 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 no. No, no nos va a llevar. La tierra está calientito. El sol calientito. Mira cómo tiembla la arena. Mis piernas enterradas. Tiembla la arena. The earth trembles. Avalanches of tiny rocks. The sand fleas scramble. My abuelita wants her legs buried, says the sand will absorb her pain. I dig a hole, rest her wrinkled, sore feet in sand and cover them. The sand is warm and for a moment she is God. Beach creatures pray for benevolence beneath her toes. Abuelita is a loving God, her old skin immune to goosebump. She picks up 3 smooth rocks and hands them to me. One day we'll be buried. One day we'll be sand. One day we'll be one day. This is my poem called Gualmar after Terence Hayes. I come from a long line of code-switching enunciations, Gualmar, Costco, Stanford, and Pixahut, all in my neighborhood. And matter of fact, all of my gente work there. I come from 1,000 laps ran with Payless kicks, legally counterfeit backward swooshes, y más barato. I am 3 parts pan dulce, 2 parts la chancla scars, and 1 part communion wine. I'm from Hijos de su chingada madre, straight out the hocico of mi chingada madre. Phrases as sacred, aftermath not calculated till A+ in algebra, and English teachers scolded parents, nuisance and unfocused and illiterate and diction deficient. Hijo, ¿qué dijo tu maestra? Y nada, no te preocupes, translating signs from English to Spanish soon as I learned to breathe. California's my home. They say it's empathy's fault that causes these quakes. My ancestors whispered in my ears to unfinished degrees, advised otherwise, true to blood that circulates through these frijolero veins. I'm from a technicality. Youngest in my family, my missing, miscarried sister would have bared a beautiful first communion dress. Instead, it was me. My search history reeks of fermented agave and missing names plus obituary. South City and Zapopan raised me. Dutch crutch sandwiches and tortas ahogadas would test positive in my curly hair if my culture was considered a drug, a threat, which it is. I come blessed like the 15 Virgen de Guadalupes found in my home. They say I never stay put and yet laid me in a crib. When the morning came, I was out the door, crawling, walking, running, and I haven't stopped since. Yeah. Thank you.